I remember Mother's Day after Mother's Day, sitting in church, knots in my stomach, tears in my eyes, sometimes not being able to contain them, as I waited for the moment when all the moms would be asked to stand. Knowing that I would have to remain seated. It was very painful. And it wasn't because I wanted to stand up. That's really outside my comfort zone to stand up and be recognized or whatever. I don't really care about that. Nor did I think that the moms out there didn't deserve to stand up. I just wanted to have a reason to stand up. And I didn't. I was still waiting. It's hard to wait, especially for something so precious. And if you are there right now, I get it. I understand. My heart goes out to you. Is it all right if I encourage you today? Try to encourage you anyway, because I'm on the other side of that now by quite a few years, and I can look back on it, and not that I would want to go through that again, but I can appreciate the things that I've learned. I think the main thing that I'd like to emphasize is that God has a purpose in your waiting, whatever you're waiting for. Maybe you're not waiting to be a mom, but there's something precious to you that you would love to have or love to do, and it's just not happening. And you're praying, you've been praying a long time, and you can't figure out why God makes you wait. He does have a purpose. We only see a very small portion of the whole picture. God sees the whole thing. He knows what he's doing, and he's doing it the best way possible. You know, I can look back now and realize that if I had gotten my child any sooner, it wouldn't have been the one that I got. And he is so precious to me. If it had happened any sooner, he wouldn't be him. And he's him. He's my son. He's the one I was supposed to raise. I'm so grateful now that I had to wait, because that wait brought me together with that precious boy who is my son. Sometimes I would wonder if I was doing something wrong. Like, is there something I'm doing, some sin that I'm committing that I don't realize, and God's mad at me, or withholding a child from me because I'm, like he's punishing me or something. It is important to look at our lives against Scripture, make sure that we aren't doing something that Scripture tells us not to do, or not doing something we should be doing. But a lot of times when we have to wait for something, it's not because we're doing something wrong. Again, it's because God knows better. He knows what he's doing, and we have to decide if we trust him or not. There are a lot of emotions that go along with waiting, a lot of sadness sometimes, and it's okay to be sad. I wouldn't say wallow in it or have pity parties or anything like that. But lately, especially, I don't know if I realized this as much back then, but over the years I've come to realize that it's better to feel the sadness and move on until the next wave hits, rather than trying to stuff it down, trying to stay busy to avoid it. You know, I'm not saying if you can hold it in while you're in the grocery store, if a wave hits you, you don't have to necessarily start crying right then. But you know, sometime later that day or the next day or something, I'm just saying don't try to avoid feeling what you're feeling. And even in your sadness, you can still choose joy. That was something that was a big time lesson for me during that time that I was waiting for my son. Joy is an attitude, it's a choice I make to dwell on the things that I know are true about God, about how much He loves me and how He has a purpose for what He's allowing in my life. That's joy. Not necessarily feeling super happy and bubbly, but even in the sadness or the anger or whatever we're feeling, to be respectful toward God, go ahead and ask Him our questions, but remember that He is good, and that's never going to change. Whatever our circumstances are, God is still good. I wrote a blog post on this, and I'll link it down below this video in the info box. So it kind of goes into more detail. If you want to read some more of my thoughts on this subject, that would be the place to go. Also, feel free to email me if you are waiting to be a mom or waiting for something else. I am not an expert on pretty much anything, but I'm always willing to listen and give feedback if you want it. Also, if you like this video and you want to see more in the future, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. When you subscribe now, I guess you have to ring the notification bell. Otherwise, you won't get notified when I make a new video. I don't know what that's all about, but it's a thing, so be sure to do that too. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you took the time to do that, that means so much to me. Your likes, comments, sharing, all of that will help get it out there if you care to do that. Come follow me on Instagram. I love to encourage people. God is teaching me so much, and I want to share that with people. I know He wants me to as well. Sometimes I just do silly things on there too, but I try to post things that I think will be uplifting and inspiring like they are to me. So Laurel A. Ness is where you can find me. I'm also on Facebook a little bit, Laurel A. Ness. And my blog is laurelaness.com. What else? Oh, if you like Christian fiction books, I have an Amazon site that has my books on it. I will link that below too. So thanks for joining me. I'll see you next time. Until then, choose joy.